Welcome, dear friends, again in the second part of this interview with Odiri. Enjoy this episode. So, Odiri, can you give us an example of your impact so far?
So, when we think about our impact, just looking at Gambia, Gambia is, a tiny country that suffered from a 22-year dictatorship. And this has really stagnated the environment. It's a dangerous situation because the country is made up of 60% youth, 60% under the age of 25. And that's, very common across the continent. And the young people are thirsty for new ideas. And they're looking at, desperate for more education and employment. And the internet is live for them. They're all on their mobile phones and they're seeing what's happening in the rest of the world, and they're hungry for development, really frustrated with their leadership. And, you can see this in the fact that so many of them, so many Gambians, a tiny country, but so many Gambians are dying on the illegal travel route, which in Gambia they call the back way, desperate to reach Europe. So the projects we lead aim to drill in real skills, build on any knowledge that they have, and to be sustainable, use local resources to build it for the projects, and really learn from the context that people are living in. Recently, our Gambian program manager was offered a fully funded place at the University of West England in Bristol, who are one of our partner organisations. So he's going to be able to do a master's degree in business management this year, 2020. And for us, this is the kind of progress and the kind of support that we want to see. And we want to be able to offer our participants in Africa.
Amazing work, really. Amazing. Please share with us some feedback that you receive from beneficiaries in different countries where you have been working.
The feedback has been great. The participants have loved every project, but it's problematic for us because as the awareness raises through these projects, the young people and the community leaders become more and more aware of what's missing in their education system and their general environment. So whilst the project's successful, we come back scratching our heads and thinking about how are we going to reach these raised expectations? How are we going to deal with this new awareness? So it's asking more and more from Daughters of Africa Foundation and the projects that we put together for that organisation in the UK.
What message would you like to deliver to listeners who might want to support going forward, and how can they contact you?
Well, going forward, in terms of support, we're looking for more individuals and partners from the UK, especially from the diaspora, that are truly intent on being involved in delivering high quality, ethical and relevant projects in Africa. We have to be careful about who we get in bed with. We're very careful about that. We are trying to set a higher bar for work delivered in Africa, and we're not interested in forced charity projects. This is about focused and ethical work practice for youth and community development. We're looking for funds and resources to broaden our work, of course, and to provide opportunities on a pan-African level. So if you want to support us financially, if you want to get in touch and just find out more about our work, you can contact us through the UK charity. You can find Corrie Youth Charity on Facebook and contact us directly. You can also find the website, corrie.org.uk, and you can find Daughters of Africa Foundation also on Facebook, and you can contact us through the website, which is daughtersofafrica.info.
So this month is about connecting past African heroines that are usually celebrated in this podcast to current African heroines, ordinary heroines that are working hard for the continent. So who is your favorite African heroine? And could you share with us a quote from her?
Without even thinking about it, my favorite African heroine is Wangari Maathai. When I visited Tanzania in 2004, I was amazed to see her receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her contribution to sustainable development. When I returned to the UK, I found out it had barely been mentioned by the media. But, you know, she has a really wonderful video where she's telling the story of the animals who are in a forest and there's a fire. And the big animals like the elephants and the antelopes, they're all standing by watching this fire. And this tiny little mockingbird starts action. You know, she's going and she's fetching water and she's going to and fro and everyone is just watching her. All the animals are just watching her. And she ends this with the simple statement that I certainly don't want to be found like those animals watching the planet just go down the drain. I will be like the hummingbird. I will do the best I can. Wangari Maathai. Amazing.
My African cliché of the day is an experience.
My experience of Gambia.
When I heard about this opportunity, I wasn't too convinced that it was going to be as good as it was. I was told that Africa is like prison by even some of my African friends, so I prepared myself for the worst 3 weeks on my life. As soon as I landed, I wanted to leave. The airport was so chaotic, but now that I've experienced the whole journey, that initial feeling that I had was purely based on the stories I was told that scared me into not being open-minded. Over the 3 weeks I was there, I learned many things about myself, and I saw clearly that us in the UK are very privileged but yet ungrateful to the resources we have. I learned that I am talented, productive, I am a problem solver, and I have perseverance. I have achieved by far the most I have ever achieved in such a short period in my life, like sharing my knowledge of how to make the environment a better place with Gambian students, like developing a whole song with a Gambian artist from scratch in the time given, like creating a music video and even teaching the Gambian youth how to create their own music lyrics and dance routine. The Gambian youth are completely different to the youth in the United Kingdom. One big reason why I say this is because in Gambia, the youth actually want to learn, while the youth here are very disruptive and inconsiderate when it comes to an education. The youth there unite, while over here, the youth kill one another and create civil wars. Whilst I was there, I felt safe and protected, while in the UK, I feel less comfortable when I am out in certain areas I go to. Overall, Gambia was a very fun and educational experience for me, and everyone I met, I would love to go back someday. I meet the friends and family I have made in Gambia.
By Kivani White, 16 years old, United Kingdom.